Okie dokie.
Donkey?
Donkey.
Hello there.
What's up?
Hello.
Oh my god, we're back again.
Hello there.
So what's up, B?
Watching the game, having a bud.
I'm speaking human to human, like.
The Nintendo Entertainment System. Your parents help you hook it up.
The 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday. We will not go quietly into the night.
The power is Nintendo.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yes.
Hey, Jonesy. Hey, guys. Thank you. A real hard ass.
ゲームボーイからゼルダの伝説。
Just watching my algorithms get crushed.
Challenge is one thing, but why does this game have to fucking trick me?
Another one.
This is a big deal.
Hey yo, Parvination, happy Monday. It's America's #1 online video game personality. Then the Parvinator Parvin, here at your service. What's up and welcome, guys. Good to see you. So many folks in the chat. Happy Monday. What's going on, man? How we doing? Is your week off to a good start? Is it off to a difficult start? You know, either way, the thing is, you know, we're here in the Gamer Lifestyle Lounge, and yeah, I'm not going to say that you that you leave that all behind, because of course we carry that with us. But when we're here, though, you know, it's about games, and everything else is games adjacent, and that can come up, right? It always happens. We're freestyling here, free balling, so to speak. Welcome, good to see you guys. Happy Monday. Man, all right, guys, we got a good show for you. I know that sigh makes it sound like we don't, but no, we do. I'm very excited. It's really good to see you guys. I've been looking forward to this stream. It took me a long time to get it going, but that's because last week was a little bit light. Life got in the way. I wasn't able to get a whole lot of work done last week, so I was able to stream, but I wasn't able to bring it that much in terms of like gamer news and good old days. But tonight we got them both covered, and they kind of roll into each other, honestly. Yeah, I didn't ask for it, but man, it just worked out. Now, where did that... Oh, I moved the file. Darn! Where did my thumbnail go? 1 second. Well, I can't show it to you. Darn. Okay. 1 second. I know it's here somewhere. Is it in downloads now? Jeez Louise. You know what? Forget about it, man. Forget about it. I'm starting the show over. I never should have done it.
This is a big deal.
No, anyway, I had a pic ready to go. I don't know. I think I moved it. I ended up moving it away from its folder like right before we started, and I didn't think about the repercussions. But it's in there, baby. And I'll see if we can find it at some point. But we're going to be talking about Super Mario RPG. We're wishing a happy birthday to Super Mario RPG. Its North American release came 28 years ago, which is blowing my mind. It was a 28, right? Didn't I write it down? 28 years ago. Jeez. So yeah, we're going back to the original version, and we're going to talk about that. Of course, get into the remake, just a smidge. And yeah, we're going to roll that into some what ifs that I think some of us who might have, lived through this era, seeing Super Mario RPG, seeing the collaboration between Square and Nintendo coming together, man, right? And making something beautiful. And then it makes me think about the what ifs for those times that a couple of gaming giants couldn't make it happen, And there's some sad examples, and we're on a bit of a sad timeline in terms of that. And I just wanted to take a second to ask what if, and I hope you guys will do the same. Yeah, sorry about the picture. I had one that was going to pop up and look so pretty. If you're on YouTube, it was just the thumbnail you saw. But anyway, it didn't load. So hopefully the words are worth, hopefully those 1,000 words I just gave you or more are worth a picture. Welcome, guys. Good to see you. Ronaldo said his day's been good. Been watching a lot of shows and reviewing the episodes of some shows and be doing a lot of review videos. Nice. Yeah, man. You do a lot of reviews. You'll do like individual episodes. You crank them out, man. Yeah, good on you. Yeah, got the brown, repping the brown. This is kind of a classic Parvinator shirt. Yeah. The one and only piece of fan art that I ever received, and it was so cool to get it. It was very nice. Well done digital drawing, and yeah, it had me repping this shirt, and then some of the few sound effects I used at the time. Of course, a couple of the ones you hear all the time were still there back then. Hell yeah, among others. Yeah, good stuff. Ray is going fly fishing. This was today? This is what you did today, Ray? Is that what you're saying? Did some trippy fly fishing. Dude, man, you're seeing him come out in slow motion.
Cup of coffee in the big tank.
All right. So we're doing Mario Tennis 64, and we're playing the Japanese version. We're trying to beat the Star Cup with every one of these main characters, and it's kind of been a pain in the ass just because there's so many, but it's also a labor of love. We still have to do it with at least, let's see, 4 characters total. Bowser, Boo, Koopa, Teresa, that's what they call Boo, right? Yeah, Teresa. What was it? Hey-Ho, which I was very surprised to see. I hadn't encountered that before. I think the previous owner of this cartridge got the Star Cup done with him because he's showing as sparkly, but I didn't do that. I thought we cleared out the data, but it's a persistence data. And then we have one more character we haven't unlocked yet, so I don't know. Maybe I'll be able to get to it, I'd say we just move on to Bowser. I've just been moving on down the line. And big boy Bowser, Big Koopa, is up next. We're gonna go. We have to start with the easier cups, the easier tournaments first. So we first go to the Kinoko Cup, and then move forward. Yeah, Toad's got a great look. Absolutely. Now, when you say special shirt, I'm actually curious because maybe I don't follow. Is there a were you talking about like out on his just out on the character back on the character select page? I should go back and look at that, man. I gotta admit, I don't know if I took stock of it. You know, I don't want to lie. Oh, come on, Bowser. You looked away. You looked over at the chat, man. Typical athlete issue, right? Taking your eye off the ball. You know, you're already getting ready to turn around. This should be easy. So, Bowser, why don't you just stay put and kind of just smash the ball pretty well. And you can take out most of these. Although, Teresa's going to be a bit harder because she has, she's like the tricky type where she hits the ball and then kind of makes it curve. Just didn't have a vest on. Oh, I should go back and see. Yeah. Should be able to see it soon. Mario in the high seat. Yep. Yep, Mario up there doing the judging. And good for him too. I'm not sure, but I think that maybe he has a blue hat if there's a Mario playing. Like if there's a Mario out on the court. I want to say he's repping the all blue, but you know, don't quote me on that.
Game over.
These details matter, you know, and there you go. I never knew about Boo being Teresa, or Teresa, you know? Teresa. There we go. Boom. Like I mentioned recently that I was able to go to Super Nintendo World, and, oh, God, I hate your serve. Yeah, I keep, you know, starting the swing too early. I need to make sure I move over to it first, since Teresa can curve the ball. But yeah, I remember seeing folks, you know, walking around with shirts that, they were black shirts with, they would just like have a white outline of a Nintendo character. Or yeah, a Mario character, I guess. And yeah, they had of course Boo, and then written there in katakana Teresa. And I started seeing folks walk around in those like not long after we got in. You know, walking around wearing that shirt. I was reading it, and I was like, why does it say Teresa? Just taking a look at the chat here, seeing what I missed. Bum, bum, bum. Welcome, guys. Happy Friday. Monday. God, I don't know. I'm in a great mood. I'm off to a great start, huh? Yeah. Oops. Maybe wishful thinking? I don't know. Mid-court's called the umpire. Ah, okay. He's on the high seat. Thanks, Ray Ray. All right. Maybe you know a little thing about tennis, because I know virtually nothing other than the basic mechanics and how the scoring system works. That's about it. I don't know, you know, like finesse or don't know the finer details. Thanks for the correction. Or more like the extra info, you know, the schooling. Expanding one's horizons. I hope so. Hopefully coming through. It's been solid on my end. Yeah, I hope it on you guys' end it looks fine. I have everything set good. You know, I really like the settings that I have from my end, and when I was streaming only to Twitch, it worked great. But now that I stream to another system that streams out to both of those outlets, to both of those platforms, I don't know. Like I've noticed that Twitch seems to think that the bit rate's too high, and it's within their like recommendations. So I went back to watch a VOD one time, and I haven't been able to do much watching back at all the last week or two. But you know, sometimes just to go back and see how things are looking, or make sure or get a clip or whatever. But yeah, I went back and there was something I was like, oh, this is pretty much like unusable. For a good chunk of the maybe it was just Twitch's VOD system, you know, server was sucking or something. But it was, the audio was steady, but the video was you know, like just kind of freeze up every few seconds or so, just get choppy. But yeah, it's been steady here. I wanted to reset our, you know, router and stuff here, and modem, and make sure, you know, let's clear that out, baby. You know, give a little maintenance. Yeah. The game of tennis is one in which is one not unlike that of the cosmic dance that is gravity and the pull that binds us all. I watched Carl Sagan's Cosmos series, which you know, originally aired in 70s, right? And I watched a portion of it, and also read like the accompanying book that goes with it, and it was really I don't know, I don't know, it's really inspiring because he's great. I don't know, he was such a great read because I think he did hang as a serious scientist, you know. He was in that world, and then simultaneously had a great gift of like explaining that world to a world at large that, you know, with laymen, you know, folks that don't understand what's going on, and also getting people inspired and fired up about thinking about it. Yeah, I don't know. It's like a combination of I don't know. It was great. I love the mix of like, you know, just like the literary references that he would make, and this mix of like poetry and philosophy and stuff, mixing that with hard sciences, and I don't know, it's really it's still a pretty entertaining watch. I think all the episodes are up on YouTube, but it's been a few years since I went down that avenue, so maybe I'm due for another trip. There's a great short video if you kind of want an encapsulation of him, kind of at his most like I would say sort of like yeah, kind of his most poetic, or yeah, sort of flowery. I would say the pale blue dot video. There's an excerpt that he did from. Well, he did a version of it on that on the original Cosmos series, but he also wrote the book, The Pale Blue Dot, that I read. It was really good too. But yeah, there's a speech, there's a clip of, I think, him narrating the book, possibly. But yeah, it's about the last picture that one of the Voyager probes took on, as it got more and more distant, and it was pretty much going to be its last chance to definitely have enough, be within range to, and enough battery to definitely know we could turn the camera around and like take a shot of Earth. And And it's really interesting because it, like the shot itself, you know, is from so far out. And, you know, because of the equipment or whatever, there's a bit of like a lens flare that kind of creates this like beam of light. And then Earth is just this tiny, super insignificant speck like in that. And he uses that to just talk about like how, man, from this distance, so much of the stuff that we worry about, whether on a day-to-day basis or the bigger things like war and, you know, violence, etc., like it all seems so, all that stuff seems so, you know, like stupid and absurd, like a from this far away, like it doesn't make sense why folks in one tiny corner of the planet would be fighting for their, you know, would be killing, maiming, you know, destroying, genociding, whatever, to like cover a tiny other little segment of that planet. Like you can't see from that far out, you can't even discern that. And it, you know, so it just like zooms out on like how the stuff that we get so hung up on is ultimately very, you know, often, sometimes some of the things we get hung up on or these very old prejudices that we have, and the old way of doing things, pretty much, like, you know, it hasn't worked for us, and we're gonna have to have a more understanding of like what a zoomed out understanding of like, you know, what we need to do to keep this tiny little speck rolling and keep it habitable for people and comfortable for people and animals to exist on. But yeah, I don't know, it's good, man. I said too much, I kind of summarized it, but he does it way better than I did, so yeah, it's good stuff, man. You know, he's got some good music behind it too. Who knows, you might let a little tear roll down the cheek, you know. Yeah. Oh, Ray. Yeah. Well, that, you know, it's interesting because he kind of became, he sort of got the hipster meme. He got a bit of a like, I would say, you know, of course he had been popular in waves ever since he was originally going, and, you know, after his death, etc. But like, yeah, I feel like he got an extra pop, like, you know, especially once a lot of stuff got uploaded on YouTube, and then it kind of became a bit of a, you know, if you're into science, writing, philosophy, space, you know, that kind of stuff, then like you just started seeing more of his stuff. It got memed out into a couple of like auto-tune songs that were taking lyrics, taking, you know, taking speeches from, or him talking from Cosmos, and then like, you know, auto-tuning it to make a song out of it, you know. So it kind of became, it just sort of got a big popular push, I think, with the younger generations that weren't exposed to it, you know. I mean, I'm purely talking out of my ass, but like I just remember starting to hear a lot about him, you know, like kind of late first decade of the 2000s, you know, 2000, you know, 8, 9, 10, 11. Maybe that's just when I discovered it, which of course is probably likely. I had heard of him before that, but it just like, it seemed like he really exploded. And then there was the second Cosmos series. It was done by Neil deGrasse Tyson. He did at least a season, right? All right, that's the first cup. I was screwing around a bunch mostly to talk about Carl Sagan, but we got through it without too much trouble. Mario's not that difficult to beat. I'd rather play a Mario than Boo or Paracoopa. We're gonna skip the trophy ceremony because honestly, I don't deserve to see it until we've beaten the final cup. You know, eyes on the prize, right? You know, you don't join this team, all right, to just like fan out in the second cup, or, you know, not make it past the first one. Championship. Yeah, no worries, Ray. Yeah, it's always good to give that guy a shout, you know? Oop. Haven't read or watched anything from him for the most part in a few years. You know, something would come up every now and then, but yeah, I was really on that track for a while, and yeah, it was fun. I borrowed, I guess last mention would be actually from the public library. I borrowed the visual companion, or like it was like it was the book companion to the Cosmos series. That's what it was, and it was able to go into a greater depth than the TV show. Do. Hey, thanks for hanging, guys. You know what? I think maybe after Flower Cup, we will go into the. You know, I got a late start, and a part of me kind of feels like since I know some of you guys. Oops, I need to respond, I guess. The audience that I built was an audience that you know, was often on the East Coast or even international. Outside of North America, but I have since been starting later and later. I don't like it, but I also just like it's not like there's decisions being made to like, oh, I'm gonna be slow right now, or oh, I'm gonna, you know,
Match point.
yeah. So it's you know, it's just like it's been kind of out of my control, but then when you put a bunch of stuff together, you know, it's I'm finding that I'm wanting to make it good, you know, and take the time to finish it. So that's what I did today. Got the late start. I do think I want to get into those segments sooner rather than later. Maybe after this cup we'll do that. Yeah, Ray, we have 4. So counting Bowser, we're in process. 4 characters we have to beat the championship, the 3rd championship cup, which is the Star Cup. Yeah, we're on cup number 2 now, Flower Cup. These are not much of a problem at all. It's not until the Star that it gets any sort of difficult, and then I find that if I'm locked in and with a couple of the character types I like, then it's easy. And then, but yeah, if I'm not focusing, this game becomes so much harder. So we'll see what we're getting tonight. Getting a screaming toad. Do. Got the my partner went to like some gym or something for like a one-time workout, you know, free thing, I think, or you know, super discounted, and got the free towel, man. Never went back. Thank you. Well, what are we I'm gonna win.
Now I know how you're spending the holidays, watching Nintendo.
Playing.
We're gonna talk Super Mario RPG later. The original version, 28 years ago. We're celebrating its birthday, and that should be fun. I really like that game. Of course, a remake came out recently. I've got a very big misgiving about the remake. We'll get into that. But yeah, it also ties into tonight's gamer news as well. We've got kind of some not so great news to report about a game dev company, and you know, a game dev. I guess I could just say game dev, I suppose. publisher, and yeah, we'll I don't know, we'll get to it a little bit later, but it all ties into some big what ifs that I have lingering after, you know, really getting in and re-exploring Super Mario RPG and trying to, you know, like going on the nostalgic trip of trying to find some pictures and videos for it today, and then it's all positive, right? Loving it, but I couldn't help but ask myself, what if? You know, what if some things had been different? And, you know, especially in regards to some of these big companies coming together and for these huge collabs like Super Mario RPG, Nintendo and Squaresoft, right? An amazing alliance. And we're going to talk about some of those alliances that panned out, some that didn't. We're going to ask ourselves, what if? You know, so it should be fun. Welcome, Ichigo. Good to see you. What's up? Happy Monday.
It's okay for macho men to show every emotion available out there, you know, because I've cried 1,000 times, I'm going to cry some more.
Ray Ray said, is that Paper Mario? Oh, it's, well, this is the Super NES and Super Famicom, kind of a precursor to Paper Mario. Paper Mario is, yeah, a bit of a spiritual successor to Super Mario RPG. So yeah, this was, yeah, this is a, like I said, Super NES, Super Famicom game, came out in '96. A pretty late game for the Super Famicom, yeah. All right, one more level for the Flower Cup, and then maybe we'll, yeah, maybe we'll go into some gamer news, or good old days in gamer news. Go ahead and do that, I think. I think I'll go ahead and do that because another pretty late start tonight, but yeah. I still want to play quite a bit, and we'll see how the Star Cup goes once we get back from those segments. But I'd be down to try to get 2 characters cleared tonight. Yeah. Ray Ray said no Samus in Fortnite. Yeah, you know, I just so you know that's been kind of a sore spot. Oh shit, get up there, man. I've been itchy, like my allergies are just going nuts, and I feel like it's causing everything else to itch too, and like I don't know. I just like I want to just like stick my face in a vat of lotion and just come back on the stream, you know, and just like. Bum, bum, bum. That's been a topic of much gnashing of teeth around here, and yeah, Samus in Fortnite, yeah, Nintendo characters in Fortnite, it's been talked about, and how they really tried to get that done, and apparently Nintendo wanted it to be a, you know, Nintendo console exclusive to have. If they're going to put Samus in Fortnite, you know, you can do that on Nintendo, but you can't select Samus if you're playing on a different platform, a non-Nintendo thing. And, you know, of course, the good folks down at Epic Games made there we go, principled stand, and get him. Said, nope, you know, Fortnite is for the people, it's for everybody. And they said, you know, we can't give you just an exclusive Nintendo-only Samus. And, you know what? Nintendo stood up, did the Generation X crotch chop, you know, Miyamoto just... Come on, we gotta pause this. Miyamoto just stood up, gave him a little, you know, boom, real quick. And then they walked out of that office, and yeah, no Samus in Fortnite. Nintendo doesn't need Samus in Fortnite. Fortnite would love to have Samus there. Come on. I know that exposure is important, right? And you know, we want the next gen to be exposed to these games, but Nintendo doesn't need to put their stuff, right, their coveted IP, these brands that they've built up all on their own, into this, what is basically just like an IP blender and a huge advertisement at this point. It's a big ad. and spin it all. Nintendo doesn't need that, man. So yeah, they told Epic to suck it. They got up and they walked out of the office. And you know, honestly, I think I support that move. Bum, bum, bum. Oh man, yeah. Like, so sorry. It's been a tough. It's been kind of a sore spot around here. The target of many a rant mode, and I don't think I should go into that now. So you know, I'm gonna take that breath, and it's all good. You know, we love all the gamers. Fortnite, you know, obviously it's fun. A lot of people play it. It seems like it could be a great time, you know, and damn, man. They just keep coming up in these headlines. All right, we're gonna beat Peach now. That's just what we're gonna do. You read me all the way. Oh, damn. That should go left. You got me good on this one. I'm playing terribly backcourt. Zoop. Is she picked up a game? She has. There you go, Bow Bow. There you go.
They were unable to get their kids a new version of the game called Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest is we've been doing DQ3, and we finally made a big breakthrough for finding the magic key recently, and that unlocks a lot of stuff. Well, literally unlocks a lot of things that we didn't previously have access to. So we'll be doing a bit more exploring, and then I think we're kind of heading over to a region of the map that was blocked to us earlier. And I'm liking this game. Like, the pacing of it is interesting. I'm realizing too, life could have been easier. You know, there was a whole place, like a castle where, you know, those are the only places you can save, or like the, you know, going to a king or queen or something. And there's I realized that there's come on, get him. I realized that, you know, so it's not like I've done everything to make it easy, and I've wiped a few times, but I'm really liking the gameplay in terms of, you know, it feels like the leveling up is not too difficult. I understand the gameplay loop now of trying to grind to get gold, to get equipment, and I see how much equipment really changes so much, you know, and the game hasn't, there's an interesting, it's fun getting back into an RPG with a big map like this, where there is an element of open world to it, in that things can be done in kind of strange orders sometimes, and the original Dragon Quest had this a lot. And I do think there are segments of the game I'm playing now, DQ3, that gets, I think there's one part where folks say you don't get a hold. I mean, there are clues, but it seems so wide open it could be hard to know where. But it is just an interesting map because it feels like an RPG version. It just feels well balanced in the same way that, like, the original Zelda. You play the original Zelda, right? It can be very difficult, and if you stray into an area that the game doesn't really want you to kind of go to at first, then you're going to kind of get your ass handed to you, because now you're up against Lionel, or, you know, a really tough enemy or something. You're just starting out. You don't know what you're doing. You've got 3 hearts and you're not experienced, you know? So, like, in that, I know that RPGs do that sort of thing all the time, but yeah, it feels interesting to just see such an early JRPG and how that aspect of it feels smooth, and I want to get out and explore. Like, I want to get out and, you know, like, it makes me want to kind of go to like another nook of the map or something, and then get that one more item. There's a lot of that kind of thing, like items that are useful to you that unlock new parts of the map and or you know, including stuff you've already passed. You know, I don't know, it has a fun feel to it. I'm not doing the best job of explaining, but yeah, it is important, Ichigo. And you know, I'm sure that there's things that are unbalanced, you know, or certain character types or whatever that are better, but like it just, yeah, this one feels solid with the gameplay loop and feeling a bit fenced in by the equipment that you have. Now, the thing is, you, as with a lot of games, you can get a really good piece of equipment, possibly, without wiping if you know what you're doing. So maybe you have to like keep pushing just a little bit further to get like one more item that'll then make everything a lot easier or open up something new. They just did a good job balancing that. None of these are really unique concepts. As I say it, I'm kind of realizing that, but I just gotta say, it feels like a comfortable execution of it all, you know? So yeah, they do, Ichigo, yeah. Ray said, gotta patch them all, yeah. They do, and you know, and I think, of course, it is interesting too to think of like how sometimes devs acknowledge a error, or an error is just clear, you know, is just clear and obvious, you know. That always cracks me up. There is apparently some like in the second Dragon Quest game, there's apparently some pretty bad like balancing throughout the whole game. Like one character, they might have screwed them up. They just like die the whole game pretty much. They're a lot of people talk about spending a lot of the game with carrying around at least one coffin behind you, you know. Come on, Bowser, don't let her have a comeback. Get it. Oh. All right, one more. Oh. I like that. I like that even better. There you go. I just need to take a quick breather between those sets. Yeah, sometimes the rebalances are great, sometimes not so much. I kind of... and it's interesting, the sort of philosophical approaches of... depending on the context, you know, what game or whatever, or what you're trying to get out of a ROM, too. But those thoughts of, like, you know, how much do we change? You know, how much does intention matter? How much does putting out a product that might resemble something that could have been an official patch, or, you know, could have been an official, you know, game that was output by that company or something? I don't know, you know. Fun stuff, man. God bless the ROM hackers, man. Absolutely. I'm gonna be talking about a ROM hacker later that helps us answer that what if that I was talking about. You know that what if I was talking about?
Today, I want to do something a little bit different.
No. All right, let's wrap this second set up, and then I'll see if I can go into good old days in gamer news. Go ahead and get that stuff. I'm excited to get to that, and I know we're gonna get some more Tennyson later too. This weekend was a bit of a wash for me in terms of getting work done, but that's okay. I also recharged in some other ways. Got to see some friends. Saw the movie The Crow. Got a frog in my throat. I saw the movie The Crow with some friends, and that was hilarious. Yeah. The Crow, starring Brandon Lee. Let's see, I think 1994, I think? '94, The Crow. Yeah, it was my first time seeing that one. It was You know, it's like kind of this dark, I don't know, dark, I don't know, kind of like revenge slash action. Definitely has quite a bit of action in it. A dark thing. Yeah, it's so, I don't know, man. It's funny to see like the ways in which its age shows and how sometimes that's a really cool thing and other times some of the shots were just so hilarious. And some of the effects used and it's also a movie that I didn't know until I was watching it. Like, okay, I feel like I've kind of seen this. I've seen someone like, you know, pay an homage or satirize or something, you know? Like, there were just a couple scenes. I was like, this is, you know, and a couple lines, too. Now the references don't have to go over my head, you know?
Championship point.
All right, championship point. Let's knock it home. I said, let's knock it home, Bowser. There we go. Yeah, unless that black hole is, you know, where your eyes used to be, you know? Now there's a look in your eyes.
Honey Badger don't give a shit. It just takes.
All right, guys, we're gonna. You know what? I gotta deal with this vocal issue. I'm gonna give a little vocal fry in tonight, and yeah. All right, I'm gonna take a short break, guys. Let me just get a short break in, get a rehydration in, take a couple minutes. When I come back, we're gonna talk. Good old days in gamer news. We're going to talk about a game that came out on this day in history, Super Mario RPG. And it leads right into our gamer news, which is about what ifs. Saw a headline today that had me just thinking about, you know, what if some of these partnerships between gaming titans, such as Squaresoft and Nintendo, coming together for Super Mario RPG. What if this or that had panned out better? What if this, you know, we're going to get, I wanted to get into that. Some what ifs, right? Take some time, a little, you know, let your mind wander. All right. I'm going to take a few minutes, guys. In fact, I'll just, I'll step away. I'll run 3 minutes of ads. There won't be any content missed. Do what you got to do to avoid it or whatever. But yeah, this will be cool. Come on back. I'll see you here in a bit. BRB. Hey, yo, what's up, Parvination? Good to see you. Thanks for the break. Definitely needed it. And, yeah, hope you got one in, too. Oh, Mallow, yeah. Yeah, he's right, isn't he? Isn't he at, like, some kind of, yeah, marshmallow cloud guy? I don't know, you do end up... Well, maybe I shouldn't give spoilers. That was the thing about making this presentation, is that there are a few spoilers. It can't be helped. The game is 28 years old. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but we do want to celebrate it, you know? I mean, come on. What are you going to do? I'm glad you guys are here. Thanks for hanging. Happy Monday. All right, I got to get the Mario Party. Well, no, you know what? I'll let that scoreboard stay up on the screen. I'm looking at this. I'm just gonna let that stay up on my right screen here. There we go. Inspiration, right? All right, guys. BRB. All right, without further ado. You want to talk some Super Mario RPG? I don't know. I love this game. Let's do it. All right. Guys, let me take you back to the good old days. Let's do it. I'm going to hit the right buttons one of these days. All right. Guys, we are here to celebrate 28 years of Super Mario RPG in Japan and North America. Legend of the Seven Stars landed in North America 28 years ago, back in 1996. And this is a great game. Oh, I should have pulled it out of the... I showed it off on Friday, but I should have pulled it out of the crate. You know? Oh, well, you know. Another what if. Gonna hear a lot of those tonight. Hard to believe it's 28 years old. And of course, the game got a remake recently as well. We'll talk about that a little bit later. The Japanese version came back... or it came out in Japan... March 9th. They got it a couple months earlier. So, you know, as always, right? Pays to be a Japanese gamer. You know, they got it early. And I love the box art for this one. It reminds me of, let's see, hold on. Got these right here. This seemed to be kind of a popular sort of box design. Just have all the characters with a white background and just kind of put some official character art across it. Yeah, reminds me of Chrono Trigger there. Yeah, among many other boxes. Now look at this, 1996, right? If that sounds late to you, yeah, it's pretty late for the Super Nintendo. At this point, Nintendo 64 was only months away. It would come out in June 23rd in Japan, September 29th in North America. So, you know, you're just months away from the revolution that is the Nintendo 64. Yet, great games are still getting cranked out for the Super Famicom. Dragon Quest III that we've been playing recently is another great late Dragon Quest, or late Super Famicom game. Bunch of good stuff, man. They had the system figured out by then, you know? Now, it was about this time that I started getting into Nintendo Power, and I remember being really excited by this art style. I would see the lead up to this game, the hype, and yeah, I just remember thinking it looked so cool. This like sort of, you know, 3D render here that we were getting. And this is all the official art. You're seeing it in Nintendo Power. You've got it in the booklet or in the box art, you know, and we were already primed to love that style because Donkey Kong Country had already come out a couple years prior, you know, 1994. We're already in 1996 at this point. So, I mean, I remember loving this stuff, you know, like granted, I was a child, you know, and a pretty young one at that, but I thought it looked badass, you know, I thought it looked cool as hell. I know now some of that, you know, early Donkey Kong Country concept art or, you know, official art can have a bizarreness to it, but it's beautiful stuff, man. But yeah, so, you know, we'd already been primed to kind of, you know, dig that style as it is. And it did look good to us. You know, I remember at the time thinking everything had this sort of roundedness to it. I mean, not counting Mallow, of course, but Yeah, Yoshi's cheeks, I suppose. But I thought it looked cool as hell, man. It looked very impressive. And for the Super NES, these graphics were top notch, man. You know what I'm saying? I wonder how much of that came down to the SA1 chip being inside this. This chip that was inside the Super Mario RPG cartridge. Only 7 games with that chip on it made it out of Japan. So this was kind of a rarity in terms of that. But yeah, it's I was seeing the list of all the things it could do, and I didn't want to just copy it this time around. But yeah, it was it handled quite a few functions, and I think this game, yeah, certainly needed it, and it showed that it had a little extra horsepower under the hood, you know. Yeah, it was a curveball, Ichigo. It was a curveball, and to me, it felt like some sort of I mean, you know, I think at that time it did, but it's just now hitting me that it is a bit of it's that Silicon Graphics stepping stool to, you know, to the Nintendo 64 with Rareware doing all the Donkey Kong Country stuff, you know, and starting to get like really early 3D renders, you know, and I guess yeah, if you think of this as being a bridge to the 64, which would come out in a couple months, and one of the last hurrah for the Super NES. Although, I mean, come on, it's an amazing system. You keep giving that thing hurrahs, you know? Hurrahs. Here's that, I absolutely remember this Nintendo Power feature. This is about the time I started my subscription to it, and I got it super cheap through like a school, you know, like a school, I don't know, fundraiser thing. And I got like a year subscription for super cheap, and we just kept rolling it over because it wasn't much, you know? It was like either 10 or 19 or something. But yeah, for, yeah. I don't know, maybe even less. Maybe even somewhere between 10 and 19. God, who knows, right? But, I mean, a bargain, and I wish I'd kept that shit. But yeah, what a beautiful feature here. And again, it's got that art. So I'm seeing this in 1996, and I'm absolutely losing my shit, you know? I got to get my hands on this game. I don't even have a Super NES at this point. I wouldn't get a Super NES until kind of late into the 64 cycle, but I had friends who had Super NESs, so I essentially had one, you know? Community gaming. Well, yeah, me too, Gigantic. Yeah, me too. I miss Nintendo Power. Yeah. Yeah, new direction, right? Not just Mario theme, but a top tier RPG. Yeah, it is. It's a really fun game, and I'm with you, Ichigo. It is a big transition, right? That's a big jump from the how we previously saw Mario depicted. Now, this game was a historic partnership between two titans of gaming, baby. Squaresoft and Nintendo. You know, kind of makes you wonder, right? Makes you wonder what if. You know, again, we're going to talk about this in a bit, right? But what if some of these partnerships could have worked out, you know? I mean, what if Nintendo and Squaresoft could have kept rolling? Who knows? What if Nintendo and Sony? You know? More on that a little bit later. But anyway, all right, back to Super Mario RPG here. No more what ifs. Let's ground it in reality. What is the game that we got? Well, the game we got. Towards the beginning of this game, we're going to watch the intro in a little bit, but towards the beginning of the game, Mario here, he's chilling in the pipe house. You know, he's just hanging out, right? Toad delivers some bad news to him that's going to kick this whole game off. And you'll see this for yourself in just a bit. But now the pipe house, right? It's been a long time since I played this game. I haven't actually played the remake, just seen a bit of footage, but it's been years since I played this version. The press time, I was trying to remember what the pipe house looked like, and I had it as something a little like this. It's been a very long time. It couldn't have been like that, though. There's no way Nintendo would have allowed that, but yeah, gotta love that the game pretty much starts with Mario's home being the pipe house. Yeah. Now, this led me down a very long rabbit hole of when I searched Mario Pipe House, I noticed that there were a few spicy results in that list, and it got me. If anybody's in the market for a Mario bong, I happened to find at least 8 such examples. There were many, many, many more, but you know, it's just next thing I know, I'm like, all right, now you're just like taking pictures, saving pictures of water pipes and bongs, but it was all. That's a great one. Love, very DIY feel to it. Nice, right? That's pretty classy there too. This Yoshi one, love the official looking packaging too. And yeah, okay, yeah. All right, well. Anyway, so you know, I don't know if that's the kind of thing that goes on in the Pipe House, but yeah, like Ichigo said, you know, we we'll never know. At least based on the remake, you know, we'll never know what goes on in there. Now, later I did discover that one of the other photos I took, I think maybe the actual inside of the Pipe House. But you know, you're putting this stuff together, it's all flying right here and left, right? And I'm running through the recesses of my mind, trying to think about, you know, when I did get this game, play through it. That first time, second time. Yeah. Oh, get out of here, Mario. Thank you. Now, so what happens is, what happens here is, the bad news that gets delivered is, well, the princess, at this point, in the English localization, Princess Toadstool has been kidnapped, and she's been taken to Bowser's castle. She's been taken to Bowser's castle, right? Now, Mario tries to rescue her, and things aren't going so great, but then, kind of out of nowhere, the shit hits the fan. A giant sword shows up, okay? Where's the picture I had of that giant sword? There it is, right? Yeah. A giant sword named Exor. These guys are like interdimensional weapons, kind of. Weapon makers. Crashes down through Bowser's Keep. That sword comes straight down through. Okay. Shatters Star Road. Scatters the 7 stars all over the Mushroom Kingdom. Okay. Now, the guy behind it all, here he is, the big bad himself, Smithy. This is all Smithy's gang, right? That was that thing I've shown you here. Something got a little out of order, but yeah, this is Smithy and his gang. A ragtag bunch of, well, bosses that you're going to be fighting. And, yeah, it's, these guys have shown up. They're trying to turn the Mushroom Kingdom and, I guess, the world at large into their next weapon forge, their next weapon factory. And these guys aren't going to have any of it. So it's a beautiful thing here. We get an alliance between, you know, Bowser and, of course, you know, Mario and Toadstool. They're all playable characters. It's amazing. They can all be together. And in fact, that's a pretty good team often, depending on what your aim is. A pretty good team for just, yeah, getting through the game itself, you know. Yeah. Now, in this one, I was curious, Aiton, in your comment there, if you were talking about the remake or the original. Bye-bye. Sorry. All right, in this game, you walk around in an isometric view, and you know, it is its own platformer. It's fun. The platforming can be tough sometimes. You get used to it. You do get better at it over time. The depth can be a little difficult, but honestly, at this point in 1996, you know, the isometric games were certainly nothing new, but it did feel like a good bridge again to a few months later when we've got the Nintendo 64. So yeah, you got this sweet simulated 3D environment going on. Again, lots of platforming. Mario can jump around. He can dodge enemies. I actually had some, I was looking for a GIF of him just trying to, you know, dodge enemies. But there are, of course, forced encounters. This is an RPG, like, as it says in the title. But there are forced encounters, but there's also quite a few enemies that can be bypassed just with a little maneuvering, you know, getting around them, jumping over them, what have you. Yeah, you're going to be jumping over stuff. You're going to be platforming over tadpoles. Some of the platforming is automatic, where you just pretty much press forward and jump, and then he goes on to the next target. And then other things, floating platforms, lava down below. Some of that gets tough. There's a couple of frustrating moments, but none of it is beyond your potential. You got it, man. I know you got this. Yeah. I remember hearing about Bowser's gesture. I forgot about that. I could have used that for this presentation. Yeah, they did a little sprite swap for that, huh? Little cleanup. Yeah, that's funny. He made a rude gesture at me. All right. I mean, that's a Bowser move, right? So, as you get into the battle is a very simplified RPG. That is, for some, going to be the bad news, I guess. This is, of course, a huge mashup between Squaresoft and Nintendo. There is an element of a high level of difficulty that is in this game, should you want to seek it out. And there are moments in the story where, if you first time through a battle, you might, you know, if you don't know what you're doing, you might get into some trouble, right? But I think overall the game isn't that difficult. It's also fairly simple, and just in the by way of like the moves that you're picking, and an interesting control scheme when you're in battle too, which always takes me a second to get used to. So you see that little menu comes up for Mario, and you see he selects A, or the player selects A. You would then have another menu that would, well, depending on which one you pick, you know, but you basically hit that same A button again. Instead of having, like, using the D-pad to select and then just using A to always confirm, or B to go back, something like that. Instead, you're having to hit that button, and continue to hit that button as you select the options from it. So, like, if he'd gone to some of those other buttons, you know, one might be items, he would then have to hit Y again once he, like, selected what item he wanted, you know, that sort of thing. And by he, I guess we're talking Mario. He's selecting the buttons here. He's got the controls. He's got, I was gonna say the sticks, but no, he's got the pad right now. Yeah, so simple menus, but it's still very fun. And you know, different party members are gonna have kind of a job class sort of thing going on for it, right? With different party members having, you know, specific set of skills. Not unlike Liam Neeson. Now, timed hits were a big portion of this game as well, and a fun gameplay element. Right now we've got, apologize, it's pretty blurry here, of course, but we've got Mario doing his kind of multi-bounce. I forget what this move is called. I mean, super jump was one, I think, but yeah, the game does allow you to press a button, you know, or pretty much just at the point of impact or just before that point of impact, and either get some additional damage, or sometimes get an extra, like, continue to hit. Mario even has one where just, I think it works as long as you are hitting it in rhythm. And, you know, just keep bouncing. But it's kind of a later move. But yeah, you have some other ones too that are great. This also works for defending a lot of moves. Not everything, but many moves can be defended. And sometimes it'll result in the move not damaging you at all, or, you know, it might... might cut that damage in half or whatever, you know. Definitely going to be advantageous to figure out the timings, and some stuff, the timing doesn't matter, you know. It's not always in play with, you know, certain moves, or to defend, you know, you can't defend it all, unfortunately. Yeah. Cool little power-up things, too, like in this game when you sometimes when you beat an enemy, you'll get a power-up. This one is the once again, which would give Mario, who just scored it, his turn comes up next, right? He's going to be the next turn. He's once again. There were also Got a Freebie was one of the ones that I remember, where you use an item and then the text comes up, got a freebie, and basically it gives you another of that item. So it's as if you never used it in the first place. You got away with using a free item, basically. Now, this is fun and can certainly save your bacon, but there were a few moments that I honestly kind of wish the game would have taught me a lesson and let me die instead of be so generous with the bonuses here. They do feel very generous with it, and I know that sounds like something maybe some folks shouldn't complain about, whatever. I felt like it could use a little bit of balancing, and it saved my ass a little too much sometimes. And I think I will say with it, there are some items that you don't get a whole lot of, so I get the mechanic being in there, and I'm not against it entirely, but it just it's kind of strange, I should say it just doesn't always feel as balanced as maybe it could have, but whatever. It's another thing that makes the game easier. Now, Aitzen said they got even more forgiving in the reissue. Yeah. Wow. So, like, maybe a higher rate or, maybe just easier in general, too. Ray said, reminded me of Sonic 3D Mega Drive version with that 3D illusion. I said, yeah, right? Yeah, pretty common thing to simulate 3D. Marble Madness, right? Wasn't that one? Yeah. Sonic Spinball. Is that it? No, that was that's not the one I'm thinking of. Sonic Blast? I don't know. There was one that was in this sort of isometric view that I'm thinking of, but I can't think of it, man. Spinball was the one that was like a 2D faced, like a pinball kind of game. Anyway, sorry, I apologize here to Yoko Shimamura, who did an amazing soundtrack for this game. Said that this was a turning point for her career. It's a great soundtrack, and she had to take the work of, like Koji Kondo, and then the Final Fantasy side of things as well. Nobuo Uematsu, taking their stuff and kind of getting a blend to it. And there are some Final Fantasy tracks in this. Most of the stuff is absolutely Mario. And when I say a blend, I actually wouldn't say nothing so much blended as much as it's the salad bowl, right? It's all tossed in there, but it's distinct. There's not a whole lot of Mario meets Final Fantasy in theme. Although there's something very cool, and something for those who want an extra challenge. I'll get to that in a bit. Now, this game did the humor pretty well, and I really want to see Bowser continue to cry here. Come on, Bowser, you gotta cry for me. Let's, there you go, thank you. The humor in this game is fun. Playing it, I think at this point, some of the stuff you kind of see it coming, but there are so many surprises, and it was very cute, and the humor was fun, very self-referential, and it rewards folks who get references to previous games and to other franchises. But yeah. Look, as you're playing through it, the game keeps you on your toes in a lot of fun ways. And I gotta say, it is just a fun game. It's a fun ride. The storyline is wacky. It's this series kind of letting its hair down a little bit, referencing itself, taking a victory lap, and I appreciate that. You even get some, at least in the localization here, they let loose with a few, some real world humor, some pop culture references. It seems like they had some fun with it, and honestly, it plays well. And it plays well because I think that this game does something different than what the main series Mario titles does, and that that's one slide away. Now, it even quotes other, well, not quotes, but references, and you get a lot of Easter eggs of some other Nintendo franchises as well. So I didn't want to spoil too much for you, but here's a fun one. You know, here's a fun one here. I'm resting up from Mother Brain. Got a Samus in bed there. So Samus isn't in Fortnite, but Samus is in Super Mario RPG. And that's the way I like it. Where's my hell yeah? I'll take Charmander instead. Now, to me, all of this, especially these last few slides here, to me, I think what this game does that that makes it different from a lot of main series Mario games and makes this game kind of special is that it cements what it is to be, it cements what Mario is thematically. It is one of the first times that they let a game get so wildly self-referential and talking about previous games, joking as well, and kind of taking the air out of some of the seriousness maybe of the Mario lore, which gets deep and dark, baby. But yeah, this is Nintendo trying to, you know, I don't know. It feels like a bit of a victory lap for them, honestly. This is one of the things that I think gets me about this game and needs to be understood, is just that I think it was one of those early points of Nintendo making a game, again, calling back to everything from previous games, feeling comfortable in that, feeling established. And yeah, like the Mario Revolution is at this point, we're celebrating the revolutionaries. You know, we're already looking back to the beginning of that Mario Revolution, and it's only 1996. You know, hell yeah, Cat Weasel. Mario, you are established. Do you get what I mean about that point, though? Hopefully that makes sense. I know I kind of repeated it a couple times, but yeah, it's I don't know, that it makes that game mean something special to me for that, and I think that the humor and I think it really plays into that, and seeing, you know, the different aspects of the Mushroom Kingdom, Yoshi, a bunch of other Mario characters too, all making their appearances. It's all thrown in there, you know. It's good stuff. This is kind of similar to what Smash Bros. Does in terms of serving as a encyclopedia of knowledge for these different Nintendo franchises all coming together and again celebrating itself, taking that victory lap and yeah, taking an opportunity to look back to its origins. Smash Bros. Does this so well with the trophies and all the collectibles you can get in all the Smash Bros. Games that tell you something about these old games. You know, it's just, I don't know, it's interesting to see Nintendo looking back at its past and doing it within the context of a game that is actually pretty good in and of itself, you know? Great, in fact. Now, the game itself is pretty easy. Overall, it's pretty easy. Not to say you won't get wiped every now and then, because some of these bosses, you don't really know what's going on, you know, when you first get in. But there's a couple challenging points, but if you're really looking for challenge, there is a super boss that is, yeah, a little more on the Final Fantasy side of things, you know? As you can probably see from this picture here, and I just love Mario, Peach, and Geno just hanging out, just staring this guy down, this intergalactic, interdimensionary, I don't know, demon of what, right? Demon god thing. This is what was their name? Culex? Is it C-U-L-E-X? Was that it? I wanted to say Rolex. Yeah, it's Culex. C-U-L-E-X. Yeah. So yeah, if you're looking for a challenge in this game, there is one tucked away, and it's a pretty tough boss fight, you know? Looks like Jake Paul. I don't know. Yeah. Cat Weasel sees himself every time in the mirror, man. Yeah, I have to admit, at first I thought you were talking about good old Culex here, and I was gonna say, you know, I'm not seeing it, but hey, you know, we want a lot of different opinions around here. So, all right, guys, you want to watch the intro? It's a few minutes long, but it's fun and it's a nice nostalgic ride. So we're taking our time with this anyway. Let's watch the intro. The intro is a pretty good showcase for the game. Although during the battle scenes, you don't get to see the menus and things, so you see them fighting, but it doesn't necessarily, sort of out of context, you know. Princess Toadstool getting swept off her feet, and not in a good way. Mario coming out the pipe house. The bad news from Toad comes the second time he makes it to the... or we see the pipe house, I think. I don't remember. Who knows? Getting into some battles. Welcome, Francisco. Good to see you. It's a fun genre smash, you know, adding all the platforming elements to it, and then having you go into a battle. Those battles themselves can be a bit slow sometimes, but it's still pretty fun overall. And the ability to avoid a lot of battles does come in handy. It's clutch. Get a little cast of characters here. I think one of the things I appreciate about this is a level of punch up for I mean, you know, story, exposition at the beginning, having a somewhat cinematic intro. This is stuff that at this point, are you really getting that in Mario? You know, Super Mario World starts with, you know, I mean, you know, a little something, you know, a letter, and, you know, getting a letter at the beginning of it, you know. Yoshi's Island was a big step forward in that front, too, just in terms of having a, I guess, a robust story. Step forward if that's what you're looking for, you know. Not everybody's cup of tea. Hey, you even get some Donkey Kong Country minecart action. Come on, man. This game's got it all. Kamek running around. King Bowser trying to assemble the troops.
All we had to do was follow the damn train, CJ.
Got a minute and 15 left. I'll be giving you updates every 10 seconds. I don't remember that boss. Oh, were those, well, I shouldn't say it out loud, might be a spoiler. I think I saw something on his back that reminded me of something. Here we are with Mario using the timed hits to get multiple hits on the Goomba there. So it looks, for 1996, this looks great. A fun game, really pushing the Super NES to its limit, and it needed that A1, what was it? A1 chip, is that it? To get there? A1 barbecue sauce. Really fun character moments in this game, and fun writing. That can't come through so much here in the intro, but... cinematic. Super Mario RPG. Good stuff, right? Nintendo and Square, man. All right, cool. I enjoyed that. Now, you would get some spiritual successors, of course. Paper Mario being the first, that came in 2000. Kicked that series off. Brand new series of, you know, lots of Paper Mario titles. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga came out for the GBA back in 2003. And I've played and beaten both of these titles. They're both great. Really fun. I know for, I think, I don't know if there's any consensus on these games. A lot of folks love them. I think some folks are very loyal to Super Mario RPG, and so much so that maybe they got a bit of a blind spot to these other games, but these were both great. Superstar Saga I had a blast with, and was just a fun concept. I know there's other Mario and Luigi games, but you know, maybe it's best that I didn't go to those games because, right, they're supposed to be both of these series, their last few titles, you know, fans don't seem to love them too much, and for spiritual successors to the great Super Mario RPG, there's a lot of folks saying they need to get Miyamoto back in church, man. Miyamoto, come on, dude. A lot of people are saying he's screwing up, and I'm not gonna say that. I gotta stay neutral here. I also, this man means the world to me, you know? He hung the moon. Literally, in Majora's Mask. Alright, now, there is a remake for the Switch, and it's funny, there have been some great comments here clarifying some of the differences in the Switch for anyone curious. Yeah, it came out last year, right? Yeah, it came out last year, and you know, this was an interesting drop for Nintendo. I don't think I don't think we knew much about it beforehand, or seemed to be a bit of a surprise, and one that was very close around the corner when we heard about it. And you know, it seems pretty good. It seems like a pretty faithful remake with a few decisions changed, some writing changed. Apparently, there's some localization that some folks aren't a fan of. I gotta say, to me, the censorship that stands out the most is that of the Pipe House. Okay. On this channel, we are Pipe House truthers. Apparently, in this remake, they called it the Mario House, which, like, no shit, it's Mario's house. Like, we know that, right? So Mario House versus, come on, man. To me, I think that's the most massive example of censorship in this game. The one that gamers shouldn't really stand for. And honestly, I understand if you don't want to play the remake because of that. But if you have no other means to play that Super Mario RPG, I say, you know, go ahead and hit that remake now, circle back, and play the original thing. You're gonna love it. If you got no other options. But yeah. All right, guys, we're going to wish a happy birthday to Super Mario RPG, coming out 28 years ago back in 1996. Thank you to this game. I bought this game at Player 2, a used gaming store, and it was quite pricey. I have it over in this I would go get it, but I've got a couple drinks out, and I don't want a disaster, but yeah, it was kind of a pricey cart. I bought it at some point during the Nintendo 64. It was already good and running at that point. And I got this game, and it was a pretty early RPG for me. You know, I think Pokemon being my first JRPG, Pokemon Red and Blue, and then pretty soon after that, like, you know, this game's coming into the picture for me. So, yeah. Getting it from that used shop. Good stuff. We salute you, Mario RPG. Thank you. And, yeah, 28 years of service. All right, guys. Now, without further ado, I'd like to take you through some gamer news. Let's do it. Now, guys, it's not every day that the good old days directly correlates to the gamer news, but today it just happened, and it happened perfectly. Okay, I saw this headline from VGC. Square Enix is set to make an unconfirmed number of layoffs as part of an ongoing company restructuring. It told staff in an internal meeting on Monday. VGC understands. Square Enix dropping some folks, and this has been happening all over the gaming industry. You know, we covered the Naughty Dog, Insomniac, among many others. I mean, everybody's cutting folks, right? Feels like the whole industry is kind of maybe heading towards some kind of retraction. And I hate that a lot of folks' livelihoods are caught up in the mix, you know? Sad cloud. Now, we were all so pumped when these two titans of gaming came together, Squaresoft and Enix, when they first merged. You know, I think a lot of us were asking, what if? You know, it had so much potential. I mean, think about it. Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, the developers, the publishers that made those games, all in one house, right? All working together. You know what I mean? Like this was the super band. This was the like Crosby, Stills and Nash, or you know, some of these mergers, man. It's two colossal forces coming together, and sometimes we're all the better for it. You know, the world is made a better place. Super Mario RPG. The easy example, right? But sadly, on this timeline, Nintendo and Square, you know, they didn't stay together. Right? Sadly, in this timeline, we're hearing about layoffs over at Square Enix. A lot of folks losing their jobs. Squaresoft and Enix, right? Was that the right merger? It kind of makes you wonder what could have happened if these two had stayed together. Squaresoft and Nintendo. Right? What sort of, I mean, damn, right? What kind of world domination could these two have gotten up to? Right? I mean, come on. Imagine them coming out with like an 8-bit Super Mario and Final Fantasy mashup RPG. Something, totally original one. You know? A new Super Mario RPG. It could have happened, but instead we're, I don't want to say stuck with, because it looks great, but sadly, you know, we're stuck with just a ROM hack of the original Final Fantasy ROM for NES. You know? It does look great, though. Yeah. That's as close as we're gonna get, since those two giants couldn't stay together, right? Couldn't reconcile what their differences. CDs. It always comes down to the money, man. If those two had stayed together, we could have gotten this Super Famicom, the PlayStation, you know, Sony, Nintendo mashup that, crazy enough, someone actually found like a one of the prototypes for this somewhat recently. That's a relatively recent story, I think the last few years. I have to look into that sometime. Yeah. Philips, Nintendo, right? Who wanted that? Okay? If Sony and Nintendo had stayed together, we could have had this thing. We could have had the PlayStation. And we could have had it with their two banners flying together proudly, man. You just want to talk about world domination, Sony and Nintendo. Okay? But no. They couldn't reconcile their differences. They got a divorce. And then Nintendo went with Philips, who like none of us liked. None of us asked for that. And it's just that's a difficult transition. Suddenly Philips is here. We're supposed to like sit down to dinner and go to Thanksgiving with whatever the fuck this is. You know, he's laughing at us. Look at him. I guess it doesn't. I guess it doesn't matter in the long run, right? There's nothing to maybe, you know, a lifetime of therapy couldn't fix. I don't know. We just got to think about how these companies, they come together, they join, they break up, they say they're going to come together, they don't, they break up, and meanwhile, you know, we're all just hanging in the lurch. You know, we're the ones that come away with the battle scars, you know? At least we still have a snapshot of the good old days, you know? The good times. Right here. When Squaresoft and Nintendo could get together and everything was right and it felt good. We were just celebrating what it is to be Mario and what it is to have developed an amazing RPG in the form of Final Fantasy, taking those elements of both of those games and putting them together in one title, you know? At least we got this snapshot, memory of a better time. I think I could use that Mario bong right now. I don't know. I need to go in the pipe house or something, man. Just bummer. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for Gamer News, Monday, May 13th, 2024. And I'm just going to take a short break, just a couple minutes, a little something to decompress, unwind a bit. And yeah, you guys should take a quick break too. When we come back, let's move on and play some Mario Tennis. Try to forget about the past for just a second. Forget about this past by looking at a different past. I'll be RB. See you soon.
Wow, so cool.
Hey, yo, what's up, gamers? Good to see you guys. Happy Monday. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for giving me a little break. It was much needed. Now I got a refill and I'm ready to rock. very hot though. It's very sweaty. And it's like a really nice day today, but it's hot as hell in this under these lights. So what can you do, man? All right, so we're gonna get back into some Mario Tennis 64 Japanese version. We're working on clearing the Star Cup for the last four characters. Bowser being one of those. So we just finished the Flower Cup before the break. Now we're coming back. We're gonna do the Star Cup. This is when it actually starts to get kind of difficult, but. Ray said, pissing down here as usual. Oh, really? You got dealing with the rain. Today was a really nice day. It started with some what we call May Gray. Not to say that is you know, like only a local thing here, but yeah, we had May Gray, which is sort of like a atmospheric inversion, or I'm talking out of my my depth here, unfortunately, because I've heard that you know, I've heard folks use the terms marine layer and like atmospheric inversion interchangeably, and I don't think that that's you know, I think that they're two separate concepts as far as I know. So let me tell you what I do know. A lot of days throughout spring and into summer, yeah, it's just like quite foggy. Up until sometimes, you know, noon, sometimes a little bit later, and then the sun comes out and it's like, it's really nice, and it's honestly like a really, I mean, okay, if you guys got this temperature, Ray, it would be like what we had today was just below what you were saying people were freaking out the other day. I know that we had like, I think, you know, 70 degrees here today or something. You know, 70 degrees Fahrenheit, yeah. Really nice, but it started off kind of cold and overcast. And honestly, yeah, I really appreciate that, especially as someone who exercises outdoors in the morning. Love that overcast. And it keeps the rest of the day from getting too hot, because like it does burn off eventually, and then you just got direct sunlight and not a cloud in sight, you know. And but yeah, some days it doesn't always you know, some days it just stays foggy the whole time or whatever. It doesn't always burn off. But dude, when it can get close to 100 Fahrenheit during the summer, I will take some morning fog. It's a high fog though. I mean, it can, you know, obviously these conditions change, but yeah, this is like a there's just a layer of, yeah, you just have like a thick cloud layer that is you know, at the height of like a tall hill or something. So yeah, it's not as if it's super dense and you know, opaque down at you know, like driving through the fog. It's not usually like that. It's just cloudy day. Yeah, it's great. It's great, Ray. It's I think it's part of the reason why the cost of living. Well, I don't think it is part of the reason why the cost of living sucks. You know, very difficult. Very pricey. But yeah, it I don't know, it honestly helps. I sometimes, as pricey as it is, I want to try to do what it takes to, you know, make enough to be here comfortably, just because it is nice too, especially as someone who likes to exercise outdoors, you know, goes jogging and stuff, and it's, you know, that's just so clutch for mental health, getting out, getting going, and having places to do that which can be kind of scenic, or at least whoa, come on, man. At least yeah, you know, just getting out, spending that time outside is, oh, it's so nice. Having access, I guess what I mean is it's nice at this point having access to all the amenities of the city, and then also being able to have a couple of options for some runs that are very, you know, I mean, they're off-road, they're, you know, on a trail, or a big hill climb or something, you know. It's and very, you know, very beautiful scenic stuff. So it's nice. Thankful, man. Try to make sure I pay attention when I'm out there, you know. It's easy to take stuff for granted or just be in your head. Mostly just totally be in your head, which exercise is a good time to be in your head sometimes, like figure something out, think through a problem or whatever. But yeah, you also should definitely try to do a little mindfulness and take it all in. I don't fish. No, I don't fish, Ray. I did as a kid, but oh, come on, man. But yeah, I don't fish. I was always pretty bad at it as a kid. It's very popular back you know, where I'm from, and I have some family that do it competitively, but yeah, and make a little money every now and then. But yeah, it's they do it on kind of like a regional level, you know. It's not gonna be something that's I don't know. Actually, I think they have been on TV one thing, but yeah. That's cool. I'd forgotten about that. That's right. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Caught a bunch on Zelda. Red Dead for sure. Get him. My, you know, Parvinator Senior, my dad wasn't huge into, like, hunting or fishing or any of that stuff, which was kind of popular. Well, I shouldn't say kind of. It was, like, a pretty popular thing, one of the more popular things in our area, which was, like, kind of on the edge of, like, suburbia and rural, you know, like, a combination of both, and you can just kind of drive out to the... Even though the suburbia feels pretty country, you can absolutely go to the country and see something like, you know, I'm from there, so I can, you know, I can talk shit about it. And yeah, born and raised, spent like the first 25 years or something, 24 or 25 years of my life in Alabama, and then yeah, it's a great place. But yeah, it's funny, man, because like you can. There's a few spots, if you just get out there, man, it gets weird. Even just driving around can just feel, yeah, just... There's a darkness, man. No, it's also a very beautiful state, too. And one of the most diverse spots in the USA. Like, it's got a ton of rivers and stuff, and there's quite a few unique species and a huge diversity of stuff, you know. But it's not home anymore. Well, I guess it's home, but it's like back home. Win it. Oh, shit. You gotta reach a little further, Bowser. Come on, stick your arm out, buddy. Thanks for hanging out. Chatting it up. Come on, get in.
Impossible. Meaningless.
What's a Welsh river like? I got to see the rivers of Wales. No, they look like some wee little, some wee bitty rivers. No, I don't know. I don't know if they are or not. In comparison, I gotta say that the ones that I saw pictures of, the first few, they did look a little narrow, you know. Well, who knows? I don't know a whole lot about Welsh rivers. Oh yeah, I know. I almost went into that and I hesitated for a second, but yeah, as I was talking about the beauty of the state, that's part of what's frustrating is that it is getting more and more polluted, and there's more and more people running the state who are in favor of doing everything that they could possibly do to ensuring that no environmental regulation will ever get in the way of like them making another dollar, you know, so we can't have that. That is the ultimate right. So yeah, unfortunately, Alabama is extremely beautiful, but yeah, I do worry that there's not enough people trying to preserve that beauty, or at least making it a political focus, you know. Yeah.
Match point.
Come on. Beat this guy. There you go. Bye-bye, hey-ho.
Nothing is more important than the simple act of people getting together.
River D, nice. Very cool. Yeah, hey-ho. Hey-ho just blows my mind. A lot of the Japanese names from these characters, I had no idea. Or it had just been so long and I'd forgotten, you know, not seen it enough to remember. We're missing out on the Japanese versions. Yeah. Crazy, right? Yeah. Yeah, lots of yeah, it seems like yeah, you're talking about how it's always raining, so yeah, it would make sense that rivers would be in you know, great supply there. Oh, heaps of rivers, man. There we go. Boop. Vault. Oh, come on. Oh, heaps. Stacks. You know, I did a teaching internship in Australia for, this was like the final thing I had to do before I got my like teaching certificate or whatever, you know, your final internship under the direction of a high school teacher or you know, whatever grade you get assigned to. And I got to go to Darwin, Australia, and it was so cool. But yeah, to make a long, to get straight to that point, it always blew my mind because, you know, I'm so used to people saying lots, you know, the Americans, Canadians, I think lots. There's a whole bunch of lots. You hear hella in certain places, and now it's growing a little bit everywhere, I think. But yeah, heaps would throw me. There were just a few words or phrases that they had that my brain would always just get hung up on, and heaps was one of them, you know. Yeah, shit ton. Yeah. Are you saying that's a pretty particular like a North American English kind of phrase, a shit ton? That, yeah, I hear that a lot. Yeah, a ton. You know, there's many ways to say it, of course, but I just heaps is just not said. I guess that's what it is that I just don't hear heaps unless it really, you know, like I want to say maybe I've heard it, but I'm thinking specifically like seeing a pile of maybe a couple of things, and it, yeah, and it like I'm thinking like a couple action figures or something, you know, like all stacked on top of each other or something. You know, very limited usage of heaps used in that kind of context here. So, and it was very common there at that time, at least, you know, and in that place and amongst those students. But yeah, I just hear it. Oh yeah, man, heaps, you know. Crap load. Shit ton. F ton. The old fuck ton, of course. Come on.
I'm gonna break my monitor, I swear.
Mm-mm. There you go. Put it where he can't get it. Metric shit ton, yeah. yeah. And there's lots of permutations off of that too, yeah. You know, you could go crap ton, F ton, you know, yeah, absolutely. That's a great one, yeah. Heaps, man. I think the other thing was that tendency to put the subjects kind of like as a parenthetical at the end of it, like, you know, kind of at the end of the rest of the sentence. So like kind of like, you know, adding those identifiers like those ones at the end, or you know, or these guys, or this place, or, you know, kind of a blah 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 this place, you know, like you know, that sort of thing, which that particular phrasing is just not like, you don't hear it as much here, you know. I remember like hearing that sometimes, and, you know, that one, of course, I'm catching it as they're saying it. That didn't get really hung up, but it just always sounded cool, you know. Oh, hey. Hey always got me. Them using hey at the end of a sentence. Okay, so so think of it used in the same way that the stereotype of Canadians saying, the way that a Canadian would say a, or, you know, not just Canadian, but some people would add a at the end of the sentence, eh? You know, except it's hey, with the you know, emphasis on that. You're hearing the H, you know, hey, and I remember hearing that, and so it's like I'm listening, and then suddenly I'm hearing someone go hey, and then my brain, you know what I mean? It just took my dumb American brain a second to process what had just happened. Because it's like I'm hearing a sentence that's making sense, or a question that's making sense, and then suddenly I feel like I'm getting a, you know, an interjection, or a greeting, you know, a greeting that just throws you off. You're not expecting to hear hey, you know, like which, you know, it's hilarious though, man. Like I know that I sounded like, whenever they would try to do an impression of me, it was like, oh my god, no, man. Our impressions of each other are so bad. And the things that we would give each other a hard time about, man. It's fun. Fancy a cold one, hey? Yeah, you know, you would hear a as well, you know, but oh shit, I'd also hear hey, you know, H-E-Y, which, yeah, like I said, it threw me off. Sorry, I'm just talking about like We don't have to apologize. It's all gamer adjacent, you know. Many great gamers of all stripes, from all corners of the globe, man. From all corners of the pale blue dot. Oh, I like that, Bowser. I wish we could get that previous hit in, but the replay starts right after it. Yeah, the little backhand he did. Yeah, it starts right when he got it. I'm winding up like every time, and I really don't have to do that. One of the things that they didn't believe me when I told them was, or well, I mean, they believe me, but they just thought, like, I'm not hearing it, is the way that a lot of folks in the UK or in Australia will say, oh, come on. Shit. To our ears, it sounds as if certain words get like an R sound added onto the end of them. Like especially if that word is, you know, couched amongst other words or something, and a word that, you know, I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example here. Okay, I saw a film today. So, soarer, you know, like to our ears, I'm hearing an R in there at the end. But of course, it's just that the vowel sound for A is more, it's in the tongue and everything's in a different place. It's like it's a different phoneme. So it kind of drags into that. But then there are some people that really, like, that's really heavy for them too. There are certain accents where I think that's like a very common occurrence, you know, but or even more so than others, I should say. But yeah, I feel like that's one that, like, I instantly hear with UK or Australian. Yeah, yes. How we would, and it's, you know, how we would say, like, I mean, it varies, but more of a saw. Yeah, saw. I mean, singing is different, you know, but, and I'm not gonna do it. Don't exactly have a set of pipes like John Lennon, you know. It's not happening.
What the fuck?
I saw yeah, that happens to a lot of words that will maybe have like a sort of an A sound on the end, or, you know, whatever. And then if there's especially if it's in the middle of the sentence or something, it gets turned into, or, you know, there's more of like a mouth curve around it. But yeah, I don't know, man. I love linguistics, and I only took one linguistics class in college, but I feel like that I've got like a lifelong, you know, I don't know, yeah, lifelong interest in it, man, and just, I mean, fascination. I loved it all before, but yeah, and then to be able to, like, read IPA and to kind of think about, or, you know, trying to study ways in which, like, the mouth makes different sounds and why it's difficult for different cultures to maybe make a sound they don't have in their language. I'm just really excited today, you know. I think I'm a little over caffeinated, honestly. It's all good. Damn it! Don't let her dose.
What the fuck?
I'm not jazzed that we get Birdo here in the finals. That was a nice little slap down. Right back at her.
I'm really happy for you. I'll let you finish.
thought that was gonna be too much. Put it in the front row. But it was in the court. It was in. Mario judged it in. Hey, look, yeah, he's got his blue hat on now. Blue hat and blue coat. Previously, we were seeing him with the red hat, weren't we?
I hope you've all enjoyed our program this morning.
I want to try to get some furniture in here at some point, and you just get a different, yeah, just have a different space. I also want to have this. I kind of considered this before, but you know, I have a green screen that I put away for now. Excuse me, and I thought about getting a second scene. You know, I do have another camera that I could do a little sorcery. I could get it rolling as like a second camera. I could possibly have a place to like stand up and do the stuff like Good Old Days and Gamer News. I don't know. Things such as that, and yeah, I don't know. I think I like that idea, but I do want to get some furniture too, because I think at some point we should be able to get the guests rolling. I've got one buddy that should be able to join us at some point. Probably not going to catch him before he takes a big, going on a long overseas trip for a bit. So, you know, this is a couple months out that we could possibly do something at this point. But yeah, there's a buddy of mine I really been wanting to get in, and you know, yeah, at least yeah, maybe could help with some Mario Party or something when we get to that game. But other than that, I want to get some guests too and do some interviews. Some of that would have to be Zoom, but yeah, I need some other people here in the Gamer Lifestyle Lounge, man. It's lonely.
As we all are part of each other.
I got the chat, you know, but it's I never set out to necessarily do streaming long term. It just built and I enjoyed it as I went, you know, and then ideas started to flow and you know, stuff just built off itself. Damn it. Let her take the first set, huh? Take a break. I feel like I'm getting a little the game. Yeah. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. So yeah, hopefully next couple months can get a little change going on in here. Might get a love seat or something. Yeah. Get the green screen up in a separate area too. It's not a very big room. I've got in the corner there is this. I used to use it as a shelf. Like it had a few games on display, but it wasn't very good. It's just like a small thing. And we ended up. I had some family here. They were staying in this room, and I put a pillow on top of the. It's like just a 2-shelf thing. I put a pillow on top of the bottom shelf, and then I was just trying to get the blankets out of the way as well, and I set it on top of the top shelf, and one of the blanket just sort of draped over the edge, and you can kind of see the edge of it here, but it ended up making like the perfect like cat cubby hole, you know, and so it's, you know, it's got the pillow on the bottom flat, and then pretty much a full privacy curtain for the cat. I mean, she's got better curtains than I do in my room, you know? But yeah. Wish I could get that on camera a little bit better, but it's kind of far out too. So. need to get like a dinky little webcam for that, you know, just have it the cat lounge cam. Yeah, thanks, Ray Ray. Yeah, it's I guess what I was getting at with that was that it's more just that I really want to get other people involved too. You know, I don't necessarily want it to just be kind of the Ben show, you know, and the vision that is kind of the base of this since the whole before, and then I think that the Game Awards situation kind of cemented it for me. But yeah, it's been kind of just continuing to build off of this idea I have of a the Gamer Lifestyle Lounge. It's in essence, it's kind of a gamer variety show with a mix of formats, talking about a little bit of new game news that's come out, maybe like new releases, things like that, and a mix of playing the games. I want to get to that. Like that's what I'm trying to work on to roll out, you know, and have a format where maybe some days we just play games like this. It's just me like hanging out or chilling. But then have those days that are a little more a light framework that, like, okay, you know, that kind of helps the show be entertaining and be something different. Still mix in a little bit of gaming, but maybe we like play the game that we're talking about for a Gamer News or Good Old Days or something, you know, like I don't know. It's all these ideas, man. I realize that's what I sound like, but that is to say, some of it is better formed than others, and like trying to work towards building out some like slides here in OBS so that I can have some different transitions and new I want to build it out. I don't want it to just be a stream. I really love streaming. You know, and I still want to have at least some streams dedicated to just hanging out and streaming, but I want to, you know, I want to try to build this show up a little bit, and you know, it's I don't know. It could take some time, and I'm willing to let it go where it goes, or you know, open to change. But it really has just been felt like a kind of slow build to that over since I started working towards it in maybe like, I don't know, October something, you know. Anyway, I shouldn't go on for too long about that. I'm just really excited and stoked for the future, and so much work to be done, you know. Thanks, Ray Ray. Yeah, thanks. I do think by its nature it is something that can afford to grow over time. You know, it doesn't have to be fully fleshed out. I'm not capable of doing something that's at this point, you know, and importantly by myself, you know, it can't all be. It can't wait until I'm at some kind of like 100% point, because that doesn't exist, and it's best to build it on the go, you know. In this situation, we can do that, you know. We don't have to hit a pilot episode or some shit, you know, like.
Maybe you will be brain dead from staring at this thing all the time.
Double rainbow.
There you go, Bowser. Thanks for hanging, guys. Happy Monday. Get it? I really just need to move Bowser. I keep falling short. I forget he's got a pretty short reach, and I think because he's so big, I think his hand can like reach across the entire court or something. I don't know what it is, but that's just fast. He is slow as hell, so he's got that going against him too.
Championship point.
Here she is for championship point. Can she win in 2 sets? Bowser gets a lot of style points for just smashing it down, you know? It's fun to watch. I couldn't get over in time. Since I'd already started swinging, you know? Sounds good, Ray Ray, yeah. Get some sleep, yeah. Game, set, match. For you and for Bowser and Birdo. Hey, good night, Ray Ray. Thanks for hanging. Don't laugh. Come on.
Wow, Sonic's fast too.
Come on, give something positive.
Wow, so cool.
Get to the yeses.
Pop this fucker in, turn this son of a bitch on, and play some Superman.
Here it is.
Give me a hell yeah!
Night, Ray Ray. Take care. Have a good one. And thanks for hanging. Okay, I'll do one more rematch against Birdo, and then I should probably call it. The thing is, we're gonna beat Birdo this time, or Catherine. There we go. Gotta turn that one up a bit, huh?
It gives milk and says move.
We're gonna win this one. It's okay. Bum bum bum. Here we go. Bowser. Going on, Nick? Hey, I was enjoying the Wario Land playthrough. That game looks so good. Why are you double faulting? But yeah, that game looks so good. I really got to look more into it. I have to admit that you know, I think by way of not having a original Game Boy and then getting the Game Boy Color and just going hard into Pokemon, I did miss a lot of you know, I didn't own a lot of those Mario games for Game Boy. Come on, man. Yeah, I'd like to get to it. Yeah, it seems like such an interesting style, too. Something very different from... There you go. Yeah, something very different from... You know, like... what I initially thought was kind of something, honestly, a little close to Kirby, where you're kind of like taking other enemies' powers, and you're, for the most part, you're still going left to right, you know? I didn't realize the sort of kind of puzzle elements that are in it. And the kind of open-ended nature of it as well. Like that's, I don't know, it seems... or, you know, somewhat open-ended nature, so it seems cool. Trying to avoid, after our conversation yesterday, trying to avoid Metroidvania, but yeah, you get what I'm saying.
Give me a hell yeah!
Oh shit, look at the screen. I know, right? Yeah, exactly. I played a little bit of Super Mario Land 2, because I did have a cousin that had a Game Boy, and every now and then I'd get my hands on that, but it was Not that often. And actually, we played the first one of those too, and it was interesting. I remember thinking like, oh man, like I kind of want to go home and play my NES right now. You know, this is all right, but those games would get much better.
This motherfucker don't miss. I'm gonna give you 55 straight.
Alright, get it, Bowser. No more excuses. That was a little egregious there, Bowser. You didn't need to do that. You better, God. Hit it like a regular human being. You don't have to wind up every time, my guy. There you go. I like that. You hear me, Bowser? This is probably the last time I'm going to be playing this tonight.
Game point.
Get it.
We all can grow and we all can learn.
I didn't get to do anything for today's show prior to today, so the thing is, tomorrow I've got a little time to work on Wednesday, so I'm looking forward to that. I want to get at least a couple of segments ready for you guys, because last week felt like I was just playing from behind the whole time, and didn't get to fully you know, it felt in some ways, you know, maybe you know, because I felt like I'd had like a really great few weeks where it just also helped that I was just really buckled down and was able to work, and I did put some life things off that suddenly I had to deal with or whatever, you know. But you know, it's like I think that's going to be kind of a natural thing. It's like having a few weeks where it's like, bam, 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 and then, you know, kind of like having to sort of get my head above water for a second, you know, and like either catch up on all these, all the gamer adjacent stuff that pulls you out of the lifestyle lounge, pulls you away from these games, you know. It's good though. You got to get a good balance, and my cat is doing a little baby cries outside the door. Ma, get that. Got a hell of a serve, Catherine. All right, we got a cat in here. We'll see how this plays out. Hey, you want to get on camera? I need some help. Yes, I need help. Can you meow into the microphone, please? Come here. Where are you? I've got this like box open down in the floor, and she's just kind of like, meh, meh. Come here. Come here. Bum, 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 bum. Hey, what's up? How are you? Hey, what's up? Did you get your dinner yet? I bet you either did or you're close to it. Oh no, let me down. Okay. Let's let you go. Very dramatic. As she jumps down. Kind of a spiteful one. Yeah, I know. He's awesome. I don't know what to do. I feel like she needs some kind of... I think we have a dry shampoo or something, but yeah. She doesn't, just now when I picked her up, I didn't think it was like a bad smell or anything. It didn't smell like a mess or, you know, it just, more of an allergy thing, you know. It smells like, yeah, like a very thick fur thing that, you know, it's like, has been out for a while, and also my allergies are terrible, so who knows, maybe that was my body reacting and filling my bloodstream with histamine. Who knows? But yeah, she smells more like allergies than anything to me. I don't know if that makes sense. There we go. Oh! This hasn't gone well. It hasn't gone our way, but we're about to turn it around. Late on the draw there, man. Boone, welcome. They're, yeah, folks are clearing out. They're running for the hills. They're gone. Nah, there's someone in an over across dimension over on Twitch watching as well. But yeah, right now, yep, it's had a bigger stream earlier, but yeah, it's gone on pretty late, so I think not many folks still here. I started extremely late, I guess is the key thing here. Not blaming anybody else, because it's late for me too. All right, I'm not sure that as much as I want to string together that comeback, I couldn't do it. So let me try to do one more. Oh yeah, so I was so Pipe House was a it's the area, you know, I'm so glad you asked, right? Because Pipe House is the area in Super Mario RPG where it's like Mario's house. And it has a sign on it that says Pipe House. And today, when I got into, I do these segments like Gamer News and Good Old Days. It's like sort of podcasty segment. And yeah, that was like part of it was in the remake, they changed it from Pipe House to just say Mario House. So to me, that was the censorship that was just over the line, and we had to call it out. So yeah, that was a little bit earlier. We did that covered that stuff. Super Mario, it's Super Mario RPG's 28th birthday in North America. So we're trying to celebrate that. You know, throw a few pictures and videos up, and yeah, I had to cover that controversy too. Yeah, yeah. It was a pretty egregious example of censorship, this one, you know, the Pipe House. And yeah, it was, you know, you got to call this stuff out when you see it. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, yeah. So I try to figure out what to do for the thumbnails, because right now I kind of do, that stuff takes about an hour or so, or, you know, anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. And I never know, like, if I should have that be, like, in the title or as part of the thumbnail, because the other time is spent playing a game, you know? So, I don't know. I'm trying to figure the format out, but yeah. Thanks for coming in and asking, you know, what that's about. Yeah. Let me let this cat out. Oh. Thank you. Gigantic said a truly controversial change. Does Miyamoto-san's terror? No. You know, that last line, you had me to that last line, honestly. I tend to toe the Miyamoto line. I think that what that man has given me is like a second chance at life, a new lease on the universe, and becoming a better person, becoming the man that I want to be. And you know, he's flawed, and we all are. You know, right? Did we hit Birdo with that serve? Or oh, she hit it out of bounds. What happened there? Bum 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 bum. Get it. Oh, I didn't. I thought he was gonna miss that. He came from over the top, you know. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Boone. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's a. Yeah, I try to clip some stuff. So yeah, it's a. Sadly, I don't get to clip everything, and then you know, I think it's also tough because like if you see this on YouTube and you find one of those clips, it can kind of be difficult because I think people don't get that it's in a live context and that it's like you know, it's not a, you know, like we call it the gamer lifestyle lounge. You know, it's you're chopping it up with your buds. The facts are flying fast. Sometimes the details aren't always right, you know. It's live, baby. It's live, and that doesn't always, you know, that can be very confusing and upsetting. I think to encounter that on YouTube, and when you're expecting like a fully scripted, you know, evergreen content on YouTube or something, you know. So yeah, thanks. Yeah. Appreciate the sub, yeah. I guess all that is to say, you know, I'm happy when a video goes well and it's not one that like the comments is just full of a bunch of angry people, you know. Or their anger is directed at the right things, you know. Nah, yeah. Anyway, yeah, thanks for hanging. It's been cool. Haven't been doing it for too long, so it's always helpful to hear from folks. And, yeah, well, it's like, yeah, people drop into it, and it's, you know, I mean, they're watching a recorded moment that's already happened, and I don't want to say you just have to be there, but you know, it's sloppy because that's what we're doing, you know, like it's. It's a, yeah, man. Oh, good. Man, I hope we can get this done. We did win the first set. Oh, I like that. Nice. You know, Gigantic, though, I certainly am open to... I'm open to changing my mind on Miyamoto. I know earlier we talked about Mario RPG and, of course, the so-called spiritual successors. Sounds good, Boone. Thanks for coming through. Yeah. Yeah, enjoy your Resident Evil. Yeah, you know, I'm willing to change my mind, possibly, or at least consider things, you know. As much as he's meant to me, I will say that, right? I always got to leave that option open. It's always there. Oh, come on, damn it. Thanks for hanging, guys. I can't go for too much longer, but we're really hoping we can seal the deal. Freaking Catherine. That's it. I like that. I don't like it. Shit. Man, I'm having trouble with the big guy here. He's big and slow, and he is powerful, but sometimes that power is enough to like put it out, or had that a few. I've been like charging up sometimes when I'm not trying to, and that's more a me problem than a Bowser problem. But sadly, right now our fates are tied, and we need to win this match. Nice. Take anything I can get. Oh, get to it. That should be good. Late. It's the wind-up. If he had just hit the button quick. Oh. It's really the same story there. You know what? I need to remember. I think especially with this big guy. Stay in the backcourt for at least the return, you know, and then work your way up when you can. But you're charging the net too soon, I think. God, dude. Damn. Ah. So what is that? She's got 2 games now to my 1. All right, see if we can force the tiebreaker for the first set. Come on. Go, Bowser. Let's go.
Okie dokie. Woo! That's a great fucking record, man.
Get it? Should be good here. No charging. Thank you.
Okie dokie.
Great point.
Come on. So late. What was that? Cool. All right, we forced the tiebreaker for the first set. Off to a decent start. That was cool. All right, like that. What happened there, Bow Bow? What's going on?
Come on. Come on.
Oh, shit. Come on. Gotta get this first set. There it is. Just, yeah, wait for your opportunity to come up. Once you start to get Birdo spread out kind of far, then make your move. Oh, shit. It's too long there, buddy. Come on. Why are you charging up? Don't charge up. Ah. Jeez. You need to go back to the basics, man. Struggle bus. I've been able to do that a couple times now. See. Just put it right behind me. Damn. Got greedy.
so.
That's where this game exhausts you, man. You know, you'll play a full set, bring it to the tiebreaker or lose, you know? When you suck, at least. I knew you were going to do that. You've been doing it all night. You're just whiffing? What is that? They're just out of place? But once the charge actually panned out. Come on, man. I really, some of it is kind of baffling to me right now. Like, why is that a miss? Just late? Is that really what it is, or? Always down to assume that I'm the one screwing up. Get it? There we go. I think I can hit this in the corner. Come on. Gotta win this one since I'm serving, and I've got the camera behind me, so easy mode. All right. He's swinging like, I don't know, man. It's so frustrating. I think he's mostly out of place on a lot of these. That one, instantly moving just a bit and then hitting, I think, the B button earlier, or maybe A, without winding up. Could have done it, but yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. He just feels so sluggish. It is Bowser, and they are a heavy playstyle, I think, or something like that. Or power, you know. That was late. Fuck. Come on. Damn it. All night. All night. I was hoping we could force the tiebreaker, but yeah, not getting it done. Jesus, that was almost, ow, wow. Okay. Come on, Bowser. Way to go, Bowser. The clutch there, man. Forcing the tiebreak, okay. Guess he's just a little too far to the right on that. God damn it. Come on, Bowser. Gotta win this tiebreaker. I couldn't tell where I was gonna go with that one, but damn. I'm over here like, oh, what if I win the tiebreaker? If I do this, then I can blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, you got to get through the tiebreaker first. I think Bowser hits... Fuck me, dude. God damn it. Nearly every input is like not getting me what I'm... what I think I'm trying to get out of it. So, I don't know. I don't know if he's just that much slower or... Well, it looks like it ain't happening tonight with Bowser. For a second, I thought maybe Bowser would have second ideas or second thoughts about that, but no, he wants to... He's gonna wuss out on us and lose the match. Can you believe it? I don't think I've won a... Oh, no, I did win one set, I think. I don't know, maybe not, against Birdo. Well, tonight's not our night. That's okay. All right, guys, we will finish this game. We've got 4 characters. We've got to, finish the Star Cup Championship. Bowser is one of them. Couldn't get it done tonight. That's okay. Yeah, I got to run. Sorry, it's starting to get a bit late. But, all right, guys, I'm going to get up out of here. Let me show you the schedule. Where is it? Ayo, we're coming back Wednesday. We'll be back here Wednesday, hopefully starting around 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific time. Been starting a little bit later than that, though, lately. But it's taking a long time to put everything together. But hopefully, we can work on that. All right, guys. Let me play a couple sounds for you. I'm out. Adios. Bye-bye.
Try it first. So don't worry about it. Come on. Come on.
I speak from the brain.
We all can grow and we all can learn.
Not on the rug, man.
Mama always had a way of explaining things so I could understand them.
Double rainbow. Oh my god. It's a double rainbow all the way.
Mama always had a way of explaining things so I could understand them.
You're special.
Give me a hell yeah!
It gives milk and says move.
Give us some subscriptions on Twitch. Poggers.
Mama always had a way of explaining things so I could understand them.
This motherfucker don't miss.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums. Getting all swollen.
The pounding.
I
can feel it all the way down in my plums, getting all swollen.